The Friday Zone field crew climbed to great heights in order to keep up with the young climbers at Hoosier Heights Indoor Rock Climbing Facility in Bloomington, Indiana. We joined Mark Jedele, climbing youth instructor, to find out more about Hoosier Heights.
It's one of the more well-known climbing gyms in the Midwest area, and we try to be a very universal gym. We try and implement children into our gym as well as grown-ups. I mean, it's a very universal gym, and we just want everyone to be able to enjoy climbing.
Hoosier Heights is broken up into two sections, bouldering and climbing. The climbing room offers climbing walls over 33 feet high and include walls with less than vertical to extremely overhanging, including such features as cracks, chimneys, bulges, dehedrals, and roofs.
Well, the way I like to put it is that if you think about running, you have your distance runners and your sprinters. When you're out in the other room with the top rope, it's usually for great distances of climbing. It could be anywhere from like 100 to 200 feet. And so we call that our distance climbing. And here it's bouldering. So this is like sprinting in the climbing world. It's very intense, short routes. You're trying to do everything you can to go through the hardest route possible while you're bouldering.
But first things first, safety. At Hoosier Heights, safety is first and foremost in the minds of not only the instructors, but the climbers as well.
You just have to make sure that when you're teaching them, you tell them how serious the sport is. I mean, we try and let them know that it's very dangerous. People can get hurt.
The way to stay safe while climbing is a device called a belay.
A belay device it's a friction device that cuts the weight of the climber down by using friction. The friction will keep the climber from falling while the person is holding them what we call a brake position. It's keeping the rope folded over the corner of a belay device and making sure that they're secured up in the air. Position up, down, slide.
In the climbing room, you have to put your fear of heights aside, buckle your belay, and start climbing. But Mark tells us that there are a few different ways to approach the wall, including a tape system that incorporates different colored tape spread throughout the walls, and a rating system.
The way the rating system works is you have different levels of climbing and different criteria for each level.
Conquering these great heights isn't just for the professionals. Climbers at any level can get hooked up and start the great ascent.
Usually when we have kids come in and climb, they just climb on whatever they see. They'll just, see a hold and grab it. And that's how we try and teach them, that's how they get comfortable. But then once they get a lot stronger and more experienced, what we'll tell them to do is, hey, like try and plan it out beforehand. Sit down on the ground and be like, I'm gonna use this hold, and that hold, and then they try and climb it.
We asked Tanner, a climbing enthusiast and member of the Youth Climbing Club, to explain to us what approaches he uses when on the wall.
Well, sometimes I just feel like inside. Like usually if there's a little dip that I can hook my fingers in between the rock and the wall, and then with my feet I'll hold on and say take, which that means that the person who's belaying will take up all the rope that's just sitting there. They'll make sure that I can just let go.
While looking at the wall, we noticed some pretty unusual rocks and holds.
Every hold we use is trying to implement something you'd find outside in nature. I'm sure we kind of go beyond that, but you're trying to implement as many different ways of gripping rocks as possible.
But climbing isn't all about how high you can climb or how difficult the routes are. Tanner explains a game that's played in the bouldering room, tape tag.
Well, tape tag is where there's one person, they're in here, everybody else is not looking in here. The person, they have a tape and everybody sees the tape and they know what it is and they're not looking, and the person in here hides it and the other people have to come in and try to find it, but they can get tagged if they're not on the wall or anything.
While the health benefits of rock climbing are great, Mark feels that the social aspects of rock climbing are the most beneficial.
Well, first of all, I think it's a very, very good social experience for children. I mean, you come here and there's all kinds of other children here, and it's not like your typical children's sport where you're all playing on the same field and one person gets the glory on occasion. And here, each person is responsible for each other's lives, and so they are almost required to become close and intimate with each other in a social aspect because their lives are on the line.
Friday Zone viewers, if Tanner and Mark have got you climbing out of your chairs to try your skills on the over 12,000 square feet of indoor climbing terrain, then Mark has a couple of options for you. Either visit their website at www.hoosierheights.com or
you just show up try it out, see if it's your cup of tea, and then go from there.